Have you clapped? Okay, we're in. Hello, welcome to the Dolecast. We're under time crunch today. My guest this week, Soupy Campbell, Adam Byrne. How are we, boys?
That's us. See you after.
All good?
Yeah, good man.
Yeah.
Pretty good. There was a very bad accident in the West Link.
Anyone dead?
Well, here's hoping they're not.
Yeah.
Wait! Not even the first half. Up the hoods.
Yeah, we've got this room to one, and there's a girl probably coming in 10 minutes. So when she gets here, if she comes, she didn't come last week.
Do you need me to say my mum's sick?
Yeah.
Right, okay, no problem.
Say it's a
anyway.
charity pod or something. Yeah.
We're doing the cancer.
Do you know what?
It's incredible.
I mean, if you're happy enough, I'll be like, listen, these guys. I was saying to Aaron, I was like, we'll just say these guys. Where are you from?
Newry.
Yeah, I was like, these guys have come up from like far Roma to do this. So like, I was gonna be like, even though there wasn't an accident, I was gonna be like, there was an accident and they couldn't get here.
Yeah.
So go away, pretty much. But how are you? Happy enough?
Yeah, pretty good. Have the worst post-gig clarity of the last 2 weeks, so I want to kill myself.
Some good gigs. Some good ones.
Had a stormer on Thursday night. Probably the best gig I've ever done.
Me too. You missed. You were gone before I went on.
Yeah.
You saw my salt and chili chicken thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing was, so I went on and I was talking about gym protein stuff, and then I just
With your body?
Exactly. I know. No wonder it didn't work. But no, I just seen this like bit of chicken this woman was eating, and I was like, I just paused the show and was like, is that chicken? And I was gonna do the thing that you done. I was like, oh, I'll eat it for the crack.
Yeah.
And then decided not to do it. Ended up doing pretty. My set went all right.
Did yours went very well?
Yeah. And then you get up and you want
Did
to
it?
describe.
I got up, pretended to clock because there was cameras obviously, and I could see the chicken. And I was like, right, I'll go up and do it. And got up and was like, how's that chicken? Blah blah blah. I was like, are you eating it? She was like, it's cold. I was like, but are you eating it? And she was like, it's salt and chili chicken. And I was like, but are you eating it? And then she was like, you can have a bit if you want. So I hopped off the stage and lifted it off her like box. And brought it onto the stage to like, and then, but no one laughed. So then, like, I got back on the stage. I'm holding this piece of salt and chili chicken. No one's laughed yet. And I was like, I have to eat this then, because it's the only way. So I put it in my mouth and started chewing it, and then I like had this accidental thought of like, why am I eating some random girl's salt and chili chicken?
Also, do you know why I don't eat other people's food? I'm a germaphobe, believe it or not. Imagine eating someone's food.
Harry Mandel.
I know. And she sneezed on it. You've eaten snottered salted chili.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Do you know what's actually mad? Me having OCD, I have a germaphobe for everything else bar food. I'll eat it out of your like, you know, I'm sorry, I know you can't swear in here. Sorry, but yeah, but I'll eat it out of your bleep, you know what I mean?
Out of your bleep.
We have a bleep. We have a bleep. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But no, that's what I'm saying. Like even like I have like I'm a germaphobe with everything else.
And you're homophobic as well.
No, I would sure. Me, I'm from Newry. That goes
just don't do it in front of me.
That's a wee niche one for the fans. All two of them.
I put it in my mouth and started chewing it and realised, why am I eating? I'm
not even getting that.
I was like, this could be me anywhere. Like, it was cold. It was the coldness hit my throat, and I was like,
you were also eating salted chili chicken shopping centre.
Yes.
Food.
I was like, and I took it out of my mouth and I was like, you can have that back, I don't want that. And she was like, I don't want it. And I was like, it's not sitting on the stage. Like, and I just set it back.
Connell, come here.
Yeah. So, no, it's actually funny. Me and Adam walked in, and no idea what to expect. Especially, I'm not even from Belfast. I've only ever been there to play mini golf. So I was like, I had no idea. And I was like, we're gigging in a shopping centre. I'm like, am I going to be standing beside like a round Cleo up for raffle?
Yeah. I actually didn't think the room was bad.
Yeah.
Here, very, very good. I was pleasantly surprised. Like,
yeah, I genuinely was.
I didn't know what to go in, think going in, like, but it was very good.
And the guy came up to us after me, you and Kieran, and was like, he goes, his name was Kevin, and he was like, he gave me a good bit, and that like he was just shouting stuff, and I was able to say something, and he came up to us after, and he said to Kieran, he was like, just you keep going. Just you keep going. You've incredible timing. You're brilliant. Comedic genius. And Kieran was like, cheers. And then he turned to us. He was like, have you ever heard of caravans? We were like, yeah.
So what was mad about it was like Kieran headlined and he went up and he was like Kieran was doing some new stuff. I think the crowd were kind of just like, it was a long night. They were just like, right, get this over with kind of thing. Like, you know, Frank will tell you himself. Like he was like, oh, I had a bag of sorry.
Don't worry.
But yes, so the boy come up and like he obviously seen Franco's potential that it could have been like really, really good, and he was like, man, just keep going. I'm telling you, keep plugging away. Like, see what you boys are doing. It must take like some serious cojones and all this stuff, right? And me and Daniel standing there thinking like, right, we'll get a wee compliment next. And he goes, keep
Yeah, you keep on it. We were like, yeah, cheers.
I love that. Or it'll always be in the smoking area. After it's like, I was watching you and you were the best. You were unbelievable. Do you want to hear this joke about 4 minorities?
Yes, yes.
No?
He said, I can't remember what the relevance to the caravan was, but he was talking about some sort of caravan joke.
He said, he goes,
Something Colin Murphy as well.
Yes, he goes, I was watching Colin Murphy and do you know caravans? And I was like, yeah, obviously.
Yes, actually.
Why did he ask? You know? And then he just said, he was like Colin Murphy said he had all these caravan jokes and all. Didn't tell us one of them. So I was like, what are you trying to tell us right now, bro? All you basically, you walked up to comedians and goes, I heard a joke one time. That's basically what he said. It was weird. Like, and then, but I appreciate the sentiment. I know it is. So especially, I've been there before, like where you're drunk and you're like, and you maybe go up and you think that you've got something. Profound to tell someone or whatever. I've went up to like members of bands before and been like, man, see the way you like made that noise and all class. And I realise I don't know what I'm on about.
So you hit that drum, man.
Yeah, I have such a niche memory. I had done one gig and it was like 2 years ago. I was in Limelight. And you know whenever you do your first gig and you're like, I made it.
That's me. Yeah,
and it was so weird, right? So I was in Limelight and I was steaming, and Adam Rowe was there because he'd done Limelight that night. And I went up to speak to him. I goes, mate, I'm actually a big fan of yours, and I'm actually a comedian. And then I went, hold on a minute. I'm just going to leave you be, mate. Have a good night. And then just walked away. Because I was like, I don't want to be a melter.
That's
here.
the best thing to do. Like, and it's kind of, I'm sure I'm like, 99% of people are just like, yeah, no, 100% thank you, mate. Appreciate it. But it's just that 1% chance that you're annoying someone. It's like, what's the point? Because they're not going to remember. See if you just go up and say we need to say, give them the compliment and just be like, I appreciate the time you put
walk
into it.
past and be like, that was great, and walk on.
Boom, done. Yeah.
That actually means more to me because I go, that was really nice. Not all I'm thinking about is him talking about caravans. And I go, what? And he goes to Kieran and he was like, what's your rebook and all? I'm like, he was like, oh, it's no jokes. And he kind of looked over us and like, guess a look. And then,
mate, it was so funny because we were watching the football in the other room and they goes, well, lads, when's the second half on? All right, then, blah, blah, blah. And you knew they were like taking the side of us. And I was like, lad, hang about. Paddy McDonald's coming down. They go, he is not, is he? And I was like, mate, he's just dropping in. He's doing a quick wee 10 trying to do stuff. And he was like, lads, it's going to get good. The shit ones are away. Paddy McDonald's coming.
cheers, lads.
But no, it was hilarious as well. We went in and Daniel Quinn, shout out Daniel, he was one of the ones that was organising the gig. And Adam told that exact story. He goes, boys, it's Mick's in next door watching football. I said, Paddy McDonald's calling for 10 minutes, and Daniel goes, is he?
Mate.
Daniel was half listening to us because there was someone on stage and he was also painting, so he obviously just heard us say the words Paddy McDonald's coming for 10 minutes, and he maybe thought the Connell organised it or something. It made no sense.
It was, we were standing at the side after, and Daniel Quinn, probably £15 deep, was walking out with his phone, just going like this, like your dad recording Sports Day.
I loved it because he was all proud. I loved it. It was unbelievable to see. Like,
I love doing Maddens, and then Dan Quinn will, because I really like Dan Quinn, nice guy ever. He'll send you a message on Facebook. Great stuff last night, man. Took a few photos of you. I'm like,
unreal.
You love it.
Yeah.
You love it, Dan.
He doesn't send me that message, which is good. He just sends me the photos. Like, he literally, I'll just get.
That means you bombed.
Yeah, he'll just be like 5 photos, Daniel Quinn.
And that's him strictly business.
Yeah. He's like, here's the photos, no more. But yeah, since you were last on, you've had a good wee run.
I've had a good wee run. I have had a good wee run.
What have you been doing?
So did the solo show.
Wee man's done well.
The cats have cooked.
The cats have cooked.
They've won from a 1-star restaurant. They're here Michelin star, and they've dropped back down to a 3-star. But you know, it's fine.
It's starting to come undone.
It is. So obviously, you did the solo show. That was madness. And then night after, done Lavery's, and that was incredible.
I have a like the one, like, because I was at both gigs, but the one thing that was great, like, because solo show, like, you were there, it was great.
Yeah.
And Adam done unbelievable. And then I rang when I got home, and he's blocked in Madden's, and he was like, he's standing going to the toilet, and I didn't know he was going to the toilet because somebody walks in, he's like, I'm talking to Soupy, and like I could hear it.
I was out in the street.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I'll say it on camera.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's amazing. I was trying to cover for you there, but
what were you doing?
In the street.
Oh, sorry.
But yes, so he was like, Soupy, was that as good as I thought it was? And I was like, man, I'm telling you, it's probably better than you thought. It was unbelievable, fair play, like, you know, gassing him up. And then I goes, but listen, like, you've Lavery's tomorrow. And Adam just goes, no, here, back to work in the morning. So amazing.
Just me in the middle of the street, like, back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, but he was right, and then he went to Lavery's and killed it. Like, so you know, it made
It was
sense.
sick.
The show was unbelievable.
Thank you so much.
It was when you were like, I've done 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It was good. And everyone was just so delighted for
Yeah,
you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's so good.
Because I'd walked in at the start, and I probably walked in 10 minutes before it started, if even, and like it hadn't filled up that much yet.
Yeah.
And I was gutted for you because I was like, and then I knew you'd said like people were texting me being like, I've bought tickets, I can't make it. But
Yeah.
and I was gutted for you because I thought like, oh, that's grim. But then it all then just filled, really quick, and to the point you couldn't stand
You couldn't stand the back.
and it was unbelievable.
The sunflower was so hot that night. Like, it was like not even in looks wise, because people that go to see me are stinkers. That's what I call my fans, my ma. But no, it was incredible. Like, so have you been busy yourself?
Yeah, flat out.
Working away.
Work in the morning.
Sorry, what's crack these anyway?
What gigs did I do? I did Blended on Wednesday.
Yeah. It's in the sunflower as well, is it?
It's in the sunflower. Room was let's call it less fill.
Aye. As you, people would call it, this is an intimate gig.
Yes, very intimate.
It's like
Yeah. It was like a job interview.
it was romantic.
It was a job interview, and I did not get the job. Put it that way.
Well, keep you in mind.
Yes,
Keep you in mind.
There was a lot. Well, put it this way. One of the acts brought 3 people with them, and they left during the break. And I was like, right. And to the point, I was like, there might not be a second half.
But you know what I enjoy about those kind of gigs? It's real. You know what I mean?
You're fighting for it. Like, you're fighting for it.
But it's kind of the ones that you look back on and be like, I actually enjoyed that. Like, I done a gig in literally a smoking area in Dungannon. Not even a smoking area of a bar. It was like the refurbished like this, like a public square, and just like had a container, like a shipment container cut lengthways, and like just put me in it and was like, tell your wee jokes and all. It's like, oh God. And there was like, 8 people there, and they were all like 60 plus spread out, and I was like, oh, it was an absolute nightmare. Now, grateful for the gig, yes. Nightmare, also yes. No MC, by the way. This guy standing there, and he's like, we're gonna make a start in comedy. And then he goes, I'll just get straight into it. Welcome your first act. Takes out a bit of paper and all. Stephen Campbell. And then off mic, give it up. I just get off. I just walk on stage, and I turn around like, I remember like Giles and Gallagher and all with her, and I was like, is that me? Do I go
Is
on
that me now? Yeah.
And then I actually went up and done decent
in respect to the gig.
yes. But
Had a stormer.
But no, it was.
Had a care stormer.
Yes, sorry, yeah. Useless. I have no idea about politics, so I apologise if anyone's offended by that.
Oh, Dan, did you ever hear? Sorry to cut across you. Did you ever hear when I was in Texas? I accidentally done.
Texas?
Oh, yeah, I accidentally done I accidentally done a politics podcast about Brexit.
This is my favourite piece of Adam lore, right?
Mate, boogaloo, right? So I wrote into this like Facebook page, and it was like Austin Comedy, and I was like, oh, hey guys, blah blah blah, I'd love to do some gigs or whatever. And some random woman was like, would love to have you on my podcast. Didn't tell me what the format was at all, and I was like, oh, right, okay, no worries, son. So first full day I was in Texas, she landed down at the hostel in her big GMC truck, picked me up, brought me out into the suburbs. She's like, Adam, I've got a treat for you. And I was like, oh, what is it? She brought me for Mexican food in the middle of like nowhere in Texas. Landed in her house. And I was like, this, mate, it was like a modern family home. Like, like $2 million house in the suburbs. And jump on the podcast with this guy from England. And then they were like, right, okay, we're going to get into
Via
it.
Zoom, by the way. So
Via
Zoom. He's on Zoom in England.
I'm still thinking this is a comedy podcast.
So it's you and her on Zoom with some other boy?
Yeah, in her house in the middle of Texas. And he was English, and they start talking. They go, well, Adam, what's your deal with Brexit now? And I'm like, oh dear.
So the podcast opens hot, right?
Is this available online?
Yeah, this is available online. This is amazing, right? But the podcast opens
Link
hot.
in the description.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact quote or the exact thing they were talking about, but they're talking about I don't even know what it is. They say something, right? And then the English guy goes, that's like Jacob Rees-Mogg. And then Adam's like, right? And then he messages in after the group chat and be like, man, who the f*** is Jacob Rees-Mogg? And like, and spelled the name wrong and all. And I was like, that's set up. But here, you sold it so well.
know.
I was like, he knows what he's talking about.
How long did you go on for?
An hour and a half of me just talking about politics, lad. It's madness.
But in the weirdest way possible, I was listening to it and I was like, you're being so neutral and so broad that you actually are exactly politics.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But she done the most American thing. He's like, you guys have that civil war? And I was like, it's called the Troubles. He's like, can we talk about that? Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, why not?
yeah.
Like, and mate, it was so cooked. And she was like, you really seem to know about politics. No, my dad was like, how do you know this? And I was like, I have no idea what I said. Literally.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of them things though as well that you probably know more than you think. Like, I think if you compare yourself to someone like any of your mates who are really into politics, you know nothing. But if you speak to an American, you're like, I actually know quite a bit. You know, like
it was the weirdest experience of my life.
but because I remember you saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this podcast," and all, and I'm thinking, "Oh, that'd be good, like a good comedy podcast." And then, what was it? It was like international politics.
Yes,
So it was just like horrendous. Yeah. See the state of the union in Guatemala. You know, like, what do you mean?
I started talking about the algae in the Lagan River.
Politics.
Yeah.
Just right.
I was like, this is, what am I on about here? But they were so intrigued.
By the way, let me know when it gets to 15:15 because that means she's not coming. Well, it's 1:05 now, and she was due in at 1. So I mean, that means if it gets to 15:15.
Is that the whole 15 minutes of the class?
Yeah, if
the teacher's
I've
not
also
here.
just realised there's a bag in that bag if you want it. May as well get it connected.
Come on, AA Ron.
Totally forgot.
We're all good. Hello. Sure.
We're back in.
Let me not say another word for us.
Yeah, that was good. Lot of good stuff was said during that wee short break there. I don't think she's
Short
coming.
break and what's happening. Shout out my podcast, it's dead.
Is it dead?
Well, listen, we'll get round to it soon. We might bring out a Christmas
It's
DVD.
dormant.
It's dormant.
It's like a volcano in Iceland. See when she goes.
She'll go.
She'll go.
But yeah, let me know when it hits 15:15 because I would suggest she's not coming. I tried to basically. I presume Aaron filled these in. Like there was a girl coming here at 1 to basically record her next shot. I was trying to find her on Instagram, message her, and be like, "Don't bother, don't bother coming."
What? Here, firstly, I love what you done with the place. Right?
Thanks, mate.
Secondly,
I had no hand in this.
Yeah, no. And secondly, what kind of this is the most American thing ever, where it's like, like Queen's Radio, like, you know what I mean? It's like people drinking out of red Solo cups and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What sort of shows do they do here? Like, do they do live stuff or is it all
So
like,
you can do live stuff, but I don't know how to, and a lot of that stuff I don't think is working properly. Shout out the tech team. Beef. So with the one we do, what's happening is we pre-record it here on a Monday and then just stick it out on a Friday as if it's live, but it's not. It just goes on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So that's like. We'll ask for stories, and then people fill in a Google form anonymously telling them their stories. We've had some stinkers, we've also had some great ones as well.
yeah, but that's
Like people admitting to cheating and stuff, and their partners, and like all this. Give me the juice,
there was that kind of reminds me of like a PT from around my way, and he's doing really well for himself, like amazing, and his stuff's great. But it was weird because he got to a certain level where people weren't going to him for PT stuff because he was like doing a lot of investing and stuff as well. And it's kind of one of them things like he's successful, and you would ask the advice of a successful person how to get there.
Yeah.
But people were going to him with like stupid things, like he would do like a Q&A, ask me anything on his Instagram, and literally someone was like, my wife's cheating on me, what do I do? Like, he was like,
get down and give me 20.
yeah.
I'm looking for 6 divorced men in the Newry area.
That's great. Yeah. The problem is she got down on 20, you know. But yeah. Oh god. But yeah, so it was just weird. Oh, no, here he answered the question, honestly and modestly. But
Carbo loading.
it was well,
Do you know Aaron McCann's mate, Tim Gallagher?
Tim Gallagher.
Yeah. So I
What a way to introduce him.
Yeah. Aaron McCann's mate. Well, no, like comedian. So I signed up to his PT thing at the start of September there as like a run club, and bro, like I was running the fields like for probably a couple of months there.
Yeah.
It kind of dropped off a wee bit because I'm like, can't bother with this.
I'm gigging, man.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've paid. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I've got my money. you don't need to text me. But he runs all his stuff off Discord.
Oh,
Did you see a couple of Discord mods at the front there?
I did.
there was a couple of. They were looking a few kittens.
Yes. yeah. A few senpais.
Yes, you senpai, pure mod san. You know what I mean?
But see, genuinely, them people that run Discord servers.
Here we go.
Here's a wee suggestion: wash. Do you know what I mean? Just wash.
I think that's basic human instinct, pun intended. You know what I mean? But it is like
instinct.
instinct. There you go.
But it's also one of those things, and do you know what absolutely grinds my gears, right? I'm
What
grabbing
grinds your
the
gear?
bloody
Go for it.
microphone.
Go for it.
See people with greasy hair, sort it out, right?
it out,
Do you know
yeah,
why?
yeah, yeah.
Because you smell like goujons. That's it. You just smell like a restaurant, but not even a nice one. Here, this is Pizza Bellizza in your hometown. It's 3-star, but it's been open for 40 years because they're the only people that know how to cook Italian food. Sort it out, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Just
Here.
I hate this
Speak your
here.
truth.
And
I
it's
agree.
also, right,
I
and no
agree.
harm. I have no confidence. I hate myself. Why do people that don't look after themselves think like they're bloody $1 million?
Because they have.
Spit it out, bro.
They're completely liberated though, where they don't care about themselves so much that they're not even pretending to.
Oh, but it's also them people that wear the climbing shoes. You're walking about the Ormo Road.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
There's no incline here, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. What
Oh, man, I just think they're
them up for in the
comfortable.
morning?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I hear. Although it's like I was in Sports Direct a few weeks ago and seen all the Yeezy, like the foam slider, you know,
yeah.
but they're like big space
Boots.
Neil Armstrongs. I put them on, and I was like, I'm fuming. These are comfortable. Like,
Oh, they're really nice,
raging.
like-
Now here, you wouldn't, I wouldn't leave the house with them,
Yes.
But
I bought fake Yeezys. Well, I got fake Yeezys for Christmas last year. They've now been reduced to my running shoes because
Yeah.
they're just like I don't really wear them. But
Yeah.
like, they did the job. Like
Yeah, what Yeezys are we talking here? Like the knitted one
With a pre-psychotic episode or after he came out and said,
I had the pre-psychs as well. The pre-psych 2000.
and then he'll start bringing out like the juicy boost.
No comment.
I love that soundboard. Where do you see this? It's not class.
That's
How much did you pay for that?
This isn't mine. These guys run this. But I have one of these at home. But it's an older model.
Do you have to map the noises to those buttons each time?
No, this is factory settings. Like
I'm not talking like Daniel Quinn,
it's
Check
great.
the mic. Can
Yeah.
you put that on a wee second? I need to.
It only works with this microphone.
Oh.
Folks, I'm just going to be your MC for this evening. Big turnout, lovely launch night. Let's get this show going, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel, who's there? There's so many.
There's so many that could be. But so you did Sunflower, and then you did a politics podcast in Texas, and then you did Lavery's, and then we had the last Friday.
Yes, the fundraiser.
charity gig.
That was good crack.
It was
So
great.
it was.
It was
I
great.
had so many biscuits in that green room.
Like, do you know what made it even better? They were a funeral food. So that's why everybody was wearing Celtic
But
tops.
you know what's mad? See, funeral food, you can taste the grief. It's unreal.
Oh, it's unreal. It's the same. An egg and onion sandwich only works when your granny's dead. Oh, he was great. Yeah, these sandwiches are great. God
Yeah.
rest them.
Yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean?
got both grannies, so therefore I don't like egg and onion sandwiches, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah. It's coming.
Can we tell Dan what happened with us in order you getting food?
Oh, yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, why couldn't you tell?
Eating the
Oh, the card, yeah.
You told me,
I
yeah,
told him when I
Mate,
get in.
I still don't have a bank card. Like,
Do you actually know?
I've sent away for one.
See, I had it in my head when you were telling me that it was the guy in the shop's card for some reason.
No,
And then he had his card, and you're like, sorry, boss man.
I came in full hungry Nuri and didn't change my accent and all, and just started throwing words at Per Daniel and Aaron. So I just, I explained briefly basically what it was. But here, Hamlin.
Every time I see you, like, there's something to do with goujons.
Of course there is. You know what I mean? Like, can't be an old gudgeon. Like,
Where did Soupy come from?
Campbell soup.
Ah, yeah, that makes
Pretty,
yeah.
pretty straightforward. There's a Orma footballer called Soupy Campbell. He's called Stephen Campbell. But I know.
Is that a trans you?
No, it's me, but good at football. But yeah.
Here, but that's class. He won in All Ireland. You died at the PAV, you know?
You know what I mean? Two sides of the same coin.
yeah. Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
Like.
But someone said to me one time, "Ian, like, is your nickname like copying him?" I was like, he's 4 years older than me. I'm from Lurgan. No. Like,
yeah, it's not like it's like if you were doing a solo show, would you have a super related pun?
I've
to.
long debated I was toying with the idea of opening like a food truck and all the while ago. I was going to call it Soup's Kitchen, but then I was like, I might attract people who think that it's free.
Yeah.
You know? So, but there's definitely some sort of brothy pun in there somewhere, like 100%.
I've told you, like, I was sitting making solo show posters for a show I'm not putting on just so I could see how the poster would look like.
What?
You should have announced it with a filter on your face and put it on as a video.
What? Yeah. What would it be?
It would be so the work in progress would be
Yes. What's your
Houston,
idea?
we have liftoff.
Yeah.
So, and then the
course.
main show, Houston, we have a problem. You know,
Amazing.
simple, easy. But it says Daniel, and it's Daniel Small, and then Houston, we have a problem. So the name is in the.
It's in the
Yeah.
I think anyone who doesn't get that though, that's their problem.
It's like a weird name for a solo show. I made all the posters. I was sending them to you. I was like, oh, I'm cooking here. Like,
Do you do any like you're a videographer mostly?
I'm a film student, so
Videographer. You're a videographer.
yeah, I'm a director.
you're filming the Madden 𝐿𝐿𝐾𝐿 this Tuesday.
I'm doing that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but would you do any graphic design and stuff as well?
Occasionally, but for all this stuff, that's Daniel's stuff.
Oh, all the graphics, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I have
this
done.
side of the
Did you- Did you do media in school for like GCSE or A level? Is that how?
Yeah,
you know it?
Oh, here we go. The story's come back. Moving image arts, we did, and then
Unbelievable. I done it too.
unbelievable.
Man, I was the first year of it.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even think they're doing it in my school anymore because
Really?
we were just like, here,
Oh,
let's do Sherlock
class.
Holmes.
We
Unreal.
did a film. Aaron did a film and I did a film, and they ended up
We're both in each other's films.
and they both ended up getting picked for a showcase in Cineworld. So we were invited, and it was full cinema, it was full screen, like, and they were played in the big screen, like our films. But like obviously they're like. The one I did was basically I'll send you the link so you can have a good watch in the car at home. But
Off my wigs.
But it's Aaron. Aaron plays a police officer who arrives at this house and he opens the door because there's been a disturbance, and it's him at the door as well. And there's a big, huge, big fight happens, but it's him, the same people. So I had to.
He was
do,
doing stunt double, like.
Yeah. So I had to do two separate, but Aaron had to be wigged up because the other guy that was playing
Wig
his
is off.
double.
Man. I look like either
A
the
Beatle?
second
You look like one of the
Doctor
Beatles.
or one of the fifth Beatle member that was taken out back and shot dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul McCartney's clone.
Because obviously the guy that was doing the other work, Ryan, has long blonde hair, so had to cover it up. So put these big wigs on him, and like we had to do 2 full days. One of Aaron is like one character, and one of them is the other. It was grim, like, but it looks.
We won
decent,
awards, so
yeah.
say nothing.
Yeah, see, funny, when I done Moving Images, we were the first year to do it, and, you know, I was the classic, like, was never cheeky in school, but never did homework kind of thing, but it was kind of like, he's alright, you know, but I was in, like, most people's films because I enjoyed the acting part of it, so
Yeah, same.
I was actually a police officer in one of my mates' films as well. We actually...
Everybody does, like, it's a gritty crime thriller.
But
15-year-old.
but my mate actually, he's actually now in the film industry and all as well, and you could tell from a mile away that he was going to be because his film was actually
Unbelievable. Yeah,
digestible.
Yeah.
But yeah, we actually went to like the community officer and all, and like got like police uniform and stuff. But like
Class.
we were in we goes, anyone from Uri listen to this, you know what I'm talking about. We were like, right, we're gonna go shoot this now, and the cops were kind of like, right, we'll come with you to make sure that all's good.
Yeah.
Because I was wearing the big reflective jacket and the hat and stuff. And he goes, where are you shooting? And we were like, oh, just up the Chancellor's Road there. And they were like, no, he's going to hit because of the spear. Like, you know, it's not an area where the cops want to be.
Yeah.
But
I'm not happy enough you guys still taking the gear and being
yeah,
like,
they were like, he's going ahead.
Also, respectfully, what age were you? Like 16, 17?
Would have been like 17. Yeah,
They
16,
literally
17.
just said to a bunch of kids, we'll be with you just to make sure everything's okay. Where you're going up this road, don't worry about it.
And me dressed the cops. So
Yeah.
the thing was, right,
That's actually mad.
mad.
that's crazy policing.
Yeah,
That's crazy
insane.
policing.
Here, it's on brand, like. But
Folks, we're just taking a quick break from the podcast with Soupy and Adam to tell you guys that Go Barbecue are still providing unbelievable discounts. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I really don't. Folks, if you go over to the Go Barbecue Instagram page, you're going to be met with a big shock to see that they have slashed their prices for the Christmas season so that you guys can get your Christmas gifts for your loved ones from Go Barbecue Co. As well as that, they also have some festive deals because, Aaron, what is it? You know, does barbecuing stop when the summer ends?
No.
Of course it doesn't. Be silly if you thought you did. So, guys, you can barbecue all year round. I'm going to try and arrange a wee barbecue thing soon, with some Santa hats on, maybe, who knows. But listen, we love them, and they love the Dolecast as well over at Go Barbecue, so we're really appreciative. But yeah, guys, just get over, not to be sniffed at discounts, and yeah, back to the podcast.
He's like, what are you, Catholic? Mate? No. But yeah, so the scene was like, I was pulling like a boy racer over, and there was a whole back and forth. It was funny and stuff. But we had to obviously like shoot a lot of different takes. So like, there's so many cars driving past, and there's just one woman drove past like 3 times, and every time she drove past, she was like, what the like, you know. So people were definitely posting on Facebook being like, checkpoint, Chancellor's Road, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Cops got called on us 3 times.
Checkpoint Chancellor.
But the cops got called on us 3 times, and the first time my mate was like, oh no, we were talking to blah blah blah, and all sorted. Second time he was like still nervous about it. Third time literally kept shooting. Cop come over, he goes, hold on a wee minute, mate. And I'm walking around the cop because we were like, we've cleared this already. Surely somebody's all know
someone
now.
has to. Yeah, we were like years and years ago when we were just posting like random private stuff on YouTube. We were shooting something that had like a fake gun or whatever, and we were like inside, like in like a church car park filming something. And
we're like 15.
Yeah. It was like years ago. Like, and this guy pulled in a van, and he came around the back, and he put the window down. I was like, what's with the gun then, lads? And we were like literally 14, 15, and we're like, it's nothing. And he spoke to us as if like,
yeah, you're in trouble.
What
Like,
he's up to, like.
Your balls came back up. You're like,
Yeah.
Sorry, it's all good.
Oh, I didn't know that was on. I went to go for this one, but
I just did that. That's so great.
even you.
See, that's so funny that you were making videos and you were doing that there. Do you know what my thing was? I was the cameraman on my mate's BlackBerry when they done parkour videos. Because I couldn't run up walls, and they'd be like, you just hold the phone. And I was like, all right.
Do you know what's mad? I wish I had your foresight, because I very much attempted the parkour. And
I'd love to do parkour.
couldn't do it. Well, so would I. But obviously, I couldn't. We had a trampoline at my back, and it was like the spot for like a couple of years. So the boys were doing backflips off it and all, but I was just like bouncing on it and then landing on the ground. But like they put it slow motion, like the ground shakes and all when I fall down. It's present.
But here, big ups trampolines when you were a kid. See, having wrestling matches, just like you would literally just beat each other to a pulp and be like, hey man, good, you took that well. And you're like,
do you
dead.
remember? I don't know if you called it the same thing around here, but did you ever hear of the American Dream?
No.
Sounds sexual, I know, but no, like when you make yourself faint, or you make your mate faint.
Is that
How do you do
that thing? We had that the pass out challenge. thing.
Pass out, yeah. So it used to be called a few different things. Are you familiar with it? No.
Maybe if you describe it to me.
But you had TikTok and all, you know what I mean? So, but it's basically where you take 10 deep breaths in, like when you're on your hunkers, and then when you stand up, hold your last breath, and all your mates push your chest and make you faint, right? Make you go unconscious, right? And I think I done it once.
Sounds dangerous.
I'm in the same sense. I've got Tourette's and all now, but it definitely is dangerous.
Yeah.
But my mate used to love doing it. Like he would like make you do. He'd be like, "Please, man, do it for me." And all. And, like, I swear. He's Moon Man, but we were we were on the trampoline, right? And we pushed him up against the poles that hold the safety net. Pushed him up against it, no problem. Fainted, but fell through the net and then like landed on the ground. And he was so close to the wall, he just kept like hitting his head on the ground because he was like shaking, hitting his head on the wall. And we were like, whatever, laughing. And then he got up and he was all dazed and confused. And
Great movie.
yes, I knew it was a reference.
I
to
haven't
something,
seen it even. I just like, I'll just say it.
I was actually going to say good album because I wasn't sure. But so I'm sure they have a soundtrack too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then my dad calls us in too for dinner, and we're sitting eating dinner. I look out the back and I just see on the trampoline this arm just going. They've done it to him again. Well, he made them do it again.
What?
Just because he just loved it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It was a way of like.
Does he love drugs now?
He smokes a lot of grass.
I see. Do you know what I mean? Like, but not even that there. Do you remember people in school? Because I know a few people, and you know the way people like sniffing like the highlighter pens and all that. There, I have people in my class who would have proper like just. I was like, bro, we're sitting in double miles. Like you're not Tony Soprano here doing lines. Like
I remember fainting in primary school and wet myself. Yeah.
Didn't have to tell us that part.
No, it's crucial to the story because I it was choir practice in like P4 where all good manly things happen, and I fainted and hit the deck and wet myself and woke up just in a puddle, and the teachers were like, here, come on to the side here, and I remember them opening like a packet of Haribo and were like, have some of them or like something, and the next day some boy came up to me and was like, did you, no one really knew what was going on, they were like, did you, I was like, nah man, I sweat, and he was like, it wasn't sweat, like, Yeah, I've fainted like a couple times, like, and I've wrecked myself like a couple times.
Yeah?
Really?
I fainted this year. I've probably fainted 5 or 6 times.
But see, there's a stage you get in your life where fainting becomes crack.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like, it's actually alarming. It's like, you alright?
Yeah.
You know, like, so
do,
what
do you know what it is?
I have no idea, but there was a period. So I fainted. I was with my girlfriend and I was sitting down, and I literally just we were doing something and I went. I made some sort of noise and she thought I'd fallen asleep and she shook me like, "What are you doing?" But I literally fainted and I was unconscious. I woke up and there was this guy, I know Peter, beside me, and he was like, "You're alright, don't worry. Like, do you know where you are? Do you know where you are?" I was like, "Oh no." So I'd fainted, and then for weeks after I felt awful. Like, constantly, every time I stood up, I was like, "I'm gonna faint." Like, even recently, I'm like, even on Sunday there, I was like, "I think I'm gonna faint." I don't know what it is. I had a feeling it was just like actual exhaustion.
Yeah, that might be what it is in all seriousness.
I think, and she was like, "You need to go get that checked out," and I was like, "I will." So,
See, I fainted one time. I broke my collarbone a few years ago.
same.
Is it still actually? It's not. Mine's like still.
There's a bump here.
Mine's poking out right now. Like
really?
it's horrendous.
Why'd you do
But I lied for a long time and said that I was going for a run in a forest, which, you know, I should have said something believable for a
Sounds
start.
like you're running from something.
But it was because I was smoking a cigarette, a smelly cigarette,
Right.
and I, in a state of paranoia, heard a car, thought it was immediately, of course it's going to be the cops, ran, tripped over a concrete slab and fell up against like a grass embankment, and I remember my right collarbone touching my left knee. That's how like contorted I was. Horrendous. And then I stood up and like couldn't raise my arm past like here, and massive lump here. I just went, oh, my shoulder's out of place. No, I'm still waiting to get it fixed. Like,
See, I was playing rugby in my last year in school, and a good mate of mine like tackled me and basically just sat on me, and I went to get up, and it was just agony, and like stood up, and the sort of strength and conditioning coach came over, and he was like, "You're all right," and I was like, "I'm gonna faint now," because like you just know something's wrong, and like. I walked over, like a big shipment container where all the gear was held, and there was the main head coach.
what did you get on it?
I was like, I need something. I was like,
Strength and condition this here.
I was like, the coach was like, the head coach who, like, bear in mind, has been doing this for like decades and shouldn't know the crack, was like, you've probably moved something, like just start going like that.
Yeah.
I'd snapped a bone. I was just sitting going like that, and it was just rubbing against itself. The more I did it, I was like, I'm gonna collapse.
Yeah.
Got to the hospital with my dad, and the guy doing the X-ray, he was talking to me about it, and like the school's cup and all this stuff was coming up, and he was chatting away to me. He was like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and he goes, "Oh, there's no crack here. Like you're grand. You're totally grand. You'll be fine." But he was just the guy doing the X-ray, and then the actual doctor came in after. Was like, "Oh no, you fully snapped your collarbone." Like I was like, "What's the guy next door doing?"
In the complete negligence. So sometimes I'm waiting 5 or 6 years now to get it sorted. Like, but the day I broke it, right? So my mate had to come take me to the hospital. But I was actually in shock so much that like having great crack, like me and one of the boys were having the best crack ever. Like we had the whole waiting room in stitches, only because we were just like, I was obviously like in agony, but just in good tune. But anyway, so I did not need that whole day, and then obviously they were firing 𝐒𝐿 into me, like, you know, they were going out of fashion. And then it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I was a smoker at this stage. So one of the boys was like, "Oh, and I heard about your collarbone. Like, do you want me to call over and we'll have a wee chat and smoke a fag?" And I was like, "Yeah, call over." So him and his girlfriend at the time called over. We went to the top of my street, and I was telling the story about how I fell. And like, as I was telling the story, I was like, "I'm actually feeling a bit faint here." Like, and he thought I was like reenacting how I felt at the time. And his girlfriend's like really, really small, and I just fell straight on top of her. But woke up on the ground and be like, Soupy, you alright? Yeah. And I had fell on my collarbone. So I was lying face down, laying on top of my collarbone, like just completely fainted because I had 4 𝐒𝐿 and 2 fags. You know what I mean?
So you're just...
And so I made them go out of the house and just got them to make me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That was unreal.
Do you ever get like when you've broken something like that and you can't move it, but you have to take your t-shirt off? So like I was wearing full like a waterproof top for the rugby and like layers and layers underneath, and like that night it must take me an hour to get all 3 layers off because you were just every centimetre.
I would have just cut it. You done your knee, but
mate, see that time whenever I done my ACL. So what it was
Sure, he'd have been playing Premier League.
I'd be headlining the PAV every week.
And then did he take the drink?
I did the drink and not the drugs. He'd no money for the drugs. But so I was playing 7-a-side.
People think you do have the drugs.
Oh, don't even get me started. We'll get into that soon. I don't care. I'm coming for you all.
Go to the Daniels Rugby Club. They have a Full of
I
gear.
know. So I was playing 7-a-side, went to cross the ball at speed, and like you wouldn't think it, but I'm a baller. Like respectfully, like sauce.
You've got that lank about you.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like prime 𝐿𝙊𝙑𝙀𝐾𝐿, but I'm not blackfacing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And went across the ball, and my knee just snapped, like sounded like bubble wrap, just. And then I like fell to the ground, and I was playing with old men, like men in their 40s, and they're like, "Was that your wee laces hitting your boots?" And I went, "Nah, mate, I think it was my knee." And he went, "Right, well, we better ring an ambulance." And pure Catholic guilt hit me, and I tried to get up and start walking and walk away and just get my stuff, kept falling to the ground. And I crawled the
You're like
whole,
a crawler in zombies.
literally, I crawled the whole length of a 7-a-side pitch, and they were like, "Come on, don't be worrying." And I was like,
They
"No,
were
no,
waiting
no,
for
no,
the
no."
Easter egg.
Yeah, I was getting my dinner. Do you know what I mean? They had to protect me, like, and it got like my ex-girlfriend came and the whole time just laughed at me and didn't get any sympathy. It was horrible. Yeah.
I what was I gonna say there? I remember when we were playing rugby in school. So we're playing Ballymena. I'll never forget.
I thought you were going to say I was playing badminton. And I was like, why are you playing badminton and rugby?
I would absolutely destroy anybody at badminton. I think comedians badminton.
Here, serious question. Sorry to cut off. Why? This isn't racist. Why do Indian guys?
Yeah, the one thing you say before you say something racist.
Why do Indian guys love badminton?
I would say
I think now this is.
you are correct.
Yeah.
This is absolute brown town talk, right? But
If you'll pardon the pun.
oh, I did not actually mean that.
That's what I was thinking. You were
no,
I was like,
I meant
speak your truth.
I wanted to say talk, but I realized that whatever. But this, beep that. That's horrendous. But I think it's because it's the same reason why India is like love cricket, because it's an ex-colony.
Ah, that makes sense.
It's a what?
It's an ex-colony, English
Right,
colony.
okay.
So that's why like cricket's huge in
because
India too.
I went to play pickleball with my girlfriend.
Everybody here,
can I just say,
pickleballs everywhere.
Can I just say something here? Actually, I went to say something really like based on fact, and I tried to be respectful of the culture, and I just absolutely
ruined it with here. This is real brown talk.
Name of the podcast.
Yeah, because I was like, there's no way I was like,
no.
You're having your head to be like, oh, this is gonna be racist when he says don't be racist. But anyway, brown talk here. Like, well, I mean, here.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Brian Town.
Podcast waiting to happen. Someone needs to. I was trying to think of a black comedian there from here to try. But I was like,
There isn't any.
Here, let's move on.
Yeah. I
Pickleball. What's that?
Pickleball.
Pickleball's genuinely. Me and you play pickleball.
It's a good time.
Is
It's
it
great.
good?
It's great crack. Like,
Is it like do you ever play what do you call it? Squash and tennis had a child?
It's like it's there's a lot of tennis in it, and it's just like it's a good time. Like, me and my girlfriend went to play, and there was the court beside us were an Indian family just absolutely lapping up the badminton. Like, they loved it.
Yeah.
To the point it was at the Valley Leisure Centre. People had to come down and be like, You're way over your time. Like, you were gonna have to charge you for another round. Like, you've been here way longer than you should be.
You used all your brown time.
I'm sorry, this is real brown town talk, but you're way over your time.
I can't believe you know that.
Hate to be that guy, but you actually need to leave the area, all right?
But so when I was in school, we were playing Ballymena, and you obviously know the shape of the rugby posts.
Yeah.
And some boy,
Protestant Gaelic nets, that's what it is.
exactly, some boy take the rugby ball, and instead of going for the line, he just put his head down, went forward, and just ran into the pole, knocked out instantly, just like but like he was unconscious, and they just sort of propped him up like a dead body, like on the post, and were like, he'll be all right, don't worry about it. And we're like, everybody get off the pitch though. And it happened again a couple of years later when I was lower sixth, I think, and some boy got knocked out on the field at Campbell, and it was a cup game, but so we had to play it. But we were like, we can't. This boy's not waking up like anytime soon. So we had to move pitch. Like, we had to walk 10 minutes to another pitch, and we were all walking off, and this guy's just sitting like looking up at the stars.
It's mad. Instead of moving the 30 people over, just move the one guy away.
He wasn't moving, and I think the paramedics were like, I don't want to move him in case his neck.
Yeah.
Have I told you about my guy I saw die in Albufeira?
Oh, that
Like,
sounds
actual death. So like, we were in Albufeira.
You there as well?
No,
Who was emceeing it?
I was trying to think of what
You said he
pavilion in
died.
Portugal.
Who was emceeing it?
That's great.
𝐿𝙊𝙑𝙀𝐾𝐿.
I'm trying to think of others.
Yeah. I don't know enough Portuguese.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obrigado.
𝐿𝙊𝙑𝙀𝐾𝐿. That's a nice one.
That is
Hope
nice.
she's doing well.
I was trying to think of Luke McGibbon, but I can't.
I couldn't do it.
Eduardo, I don't know. But yeah, so we
You seen a man die? Yes, what was
we
that
were in
like?
Albufeira, and we were going out at night on the strip, and we were meeting our mates in this bar, and they were already out, and these two lads stumbled out into the street.
I like to get a lot of. I've been on Albufeira a couple of times. Do you remember
Yeah.
what bar it was? Because I want to paint a picture in my head here.
It was one of the Irish bars
In
when
the-
you're
in
in
the-
the new town.
In the strip, like the strip.
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
there's like a greenish one, pool tables and everything.
is it? I know the one you're on, but
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's near the back of. It depends on where you're going, but it's near
Yeah.
the back either way.
You know where the nightclub is? It opens really, really late.
Yes.
Down the bottom of the hill
yeah,
almost.
Yeah. It's near the bottom of the hill.
Yes.
And is it Club Heaven or something? Is near. It's not wasn't Club Heaven, but it's
Yeah, but
very
it's
near
one,
Club
yeah,
Heaven.
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about.
And these two lads stumbled out of this bar, and one of them cracked the other, and it knocked him out in midair. But as he knocked him out, he hit him again, like in midair as he was going. So he like
Was it
just
Sean O'Malley?
he basically forced the guy's head at a speed down to the concrete, and his head hit the concrete, and he just heard his head shatter like a plate, like actually shatter like a plate. And we were all standing there, and we were like, ugh. And the guy ran back in and just started playing pool again, as if like they'll not know it was me. And this guy's sitting at the side of the road, like just like head shattered, and I've forgotten what the police are called there.
Policia?
The GDA or something, the GDR or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They, and like you know what they look like? They're in like the berets and all. They look like
Tight.
SWAT teams, like.
Yeah, they're tight. Like,
And they ran in and they just grabbed the boy instantly and threw him out. And my mate called him a scumbag or something. It was so annoying. I was like, "You're a scumbag." And
he done his bit.
he done his bit. I was like, "Peter, what are you doing?" But then literally, and like the ambulance arrived, no joke, 45 minutes later. The guy was long dead, like. But I said, this is the way I described it to you: the state of the ambulance service in Albufeira. It was like the Flintstones. You would have thought the ambulance was being powered by their feet, like out the bottom. Like it was like a wee wooden box came around the corner. And obviously, like if someone's got a head injury, you can't really move their neck because you could paralyze them. These boys just lifted him up and like threw him in the back of the ambulance.
You want to describe where they picked him on his head? Just
His head, they picked him up and his head just went and like rolled about. It was like a bobblehead, and there was blood coming out of his ears and everything. And they put a rug over the top of him. and we were
Was he actually dead? Like,
they basically the GDR or whatever were all around him, and like there was blood coming out of his ears, and they'd covered him in like a rug, and we were all we stood there for like the full time because we were like, I want to see what happens here.
that would ruin your holiday. Like,
yeah.
I just was like, lads, I'm going to get a kebab and go home. Like, I'm not going out tonight. Like,
extra chili sauce. Please.
yeah. It's hit me hard.
Deadly sauce, please. Do you have that?
But a spice.
That's actually
It
scary.
was grim.
man.
There's a few lads were like, "Oh, lads, come on, stop being boring, come on." I was like, I have just watched a guy, his soul leave this earth.
Yeah.
Like,
Did
I'm
Did you
not.
see the fight, like the digs?
Saw
as well?
the dig.
The whole lot.
Was it just a
sound.
guy like just started?
Just two drunk guys.
Oh, that.
Irish
But
or-
here's
so sad, like,
I
it is.
look at this like a mother now. That fella's also ruined his life.
Oh
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Over
Do you
something
know
so
for sure that he
stupid.
died?
We
I
were
was looking
looking
well.
the next day to see like if there was any reports come through, but like the way his body was treated and the way the blood coming out of his ears, we were just like, and the guy we were with, his dad's a paramedic, and he was like, blood coming out of the ears, like that's you're
saying,
gone.
like, yeah.
And they're like, and even if he didn't die, he's paralyzed for life. Like just the way they were behaving with him and the way like stuff was coming out of his ears. So that was good crack in Portugal. I wouldn't go back to Portugal.
That's insane. I've been a few times now. It was more just for. We were going to go to like me and the boys, and we were like, we'll go to like name another one of those holidays. And I was like, they're all copy and pasted, and I know Albufeira already. Let's just go back. And
Yeah.
you know that was really it. But no, it was good crack. But I wouldn't go back either because it's done. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When did you go?
I went just in summer there in
Right, okay.
June.
Here, very nice. So like even like the
Old Town's
stuff.
nice.
Old Town's nice.
I've never been like just directly offered drugs, like in the street.
Because it's decriminalised over there, you get people coming up to you flat out.
Guy just came up, white shirt, like really respectable looking guy. I was like, "Do you want cocaine?" I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Do you want cocaine?" I was like, "No, I'm alright."
No.
And
I'm actually full.
yeah,
I've had a
actually,
kebab.
yes,
Watch the man die
I've seen
and I
man-
want a line.
Yeah, I've had a kebab. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But
No,
like-
I've plenty back at the rugby club. It's alright.
Did you go on many lads holidays?
Well, 3 in the last couple of years. Like,
I'm done with them. Like,
oh, so
so
done with them.
done
No, the last time we went, it kind of just happened spontaneously. We were like looking at flights and all goes, we'll just go for the crack.
mine are
like,
trying
you
to play on another one now, and I'm like, I can't.
know. No,
do
I
it,
can't
lads,
think.
I really can't.
My mates are going in 2 days. 3 or 4 days, and they're going for, and he's like, Soupy, please come on, like I'll pay for your everything, and I'm like, I don't care enough.
Yeah.
No, I just can't.
I went my first one in August with Cahill and Justin to Amsterdam, and that was madness.
Yeah, but see, it's
I'm going to Poland with my mates in February for 2 days, and I was like, why are we going to Poland? They're like, we're just going to shoot guns for 2 days. And I was like, sweet, 140 quid.
I think it depends how long you go for as well. We went for a week, and like, see by the last day, it was tense. Like, it was tense.
Would you be a heavy drinker or a drinker at all? Or?
Not really. No. Like, I would have drinks, like, but I wouldn't
Your
get
ways, like,
absolutely plastered.
Yeah.
And like, just there was a few lads did. Like, there was the guy I was rooming with. No joke. One day didn't get up until like after 5, and we were like, "You've actually to the point I was like, you've wasted money here because you've spent the whole day in bed." Yeah, not that he cared. Like, but we did. The Uber Eats over there is so cheap. It's like 17p for delivery. So
really?
You're just paying face value for whatever and they obviously lift from all the like the wee cheap kebab shops.
Yeah.
So like and they had these deals on. It was like a wee kebab like box for like €5, and like you were just paying these boys with no sandals on to come to the house. Like, there's your 17 cents. Cheers, lad.
Enjoy the badminton.
I think I spent brown dog. I think I spent like €120 on Uber Eats when we were there.
That's unreal.
You didn't end up going to Lidl for a shop or anything, because you're like, anything you want, you just order the door. You could order. We ended up ordering.
You'd order a child.
Yeah.
That was 35p delivery.
There's big crates of beer, so it's like 24 Super Bock for Super Bock, unbelievable. 24 Super Bock for like €12 or something.
Did you drink any Sagres when you were over there as well?
Yeah.
Man, we came home, like the week we came home, we were like, right, we'll get a few beers and all. And I was in the off license and I seen Sagres.
Yeah.
Base.
Yeah.
Sagres cost me 40 quid for or 34 quid or something for a case of it.
Yeah.
Brought it home. Water. Like, it was like drinking a cup of tea. It was rotten.
Super Box they weren't full bottles, they were like these mini sort of bottles, and they were unbelievable. The amount of times we were on the pool, it was like, who's doing a run? Like,
Here, see the 10 wee bottles, just the right amount too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Do you know where's the spot? And you think it isn't Ibiza? I've been to Ibiza twice. I went twice last year. Well, give or take 2 years ago, like, and it was unbelievable. It is madness, but it's
good.
It's so good.
Because I've heard about it. Obviously, you think Ibiza, you think, load of gear, no idea. But like, you can decide to do it chill if you want.
Oh,
like,
mate, no. Can I make a public service announcement on this podcast?
Yeah,
I don't sell drugs, okay?
Oh,
so
yeah.
people need to stop asking me to get them drugs. I'm fed up with it. I can't do it.
No, it's mad. Can I actually add on to that? You don't sell drugs. You don't do drugs, and that's not just a podcast. I don't do. You don't.
No, I know.
And
I just smoke weed.
But also, Daniel,
I look like it.
cert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cert,
Cert,
you're like 100%.
Obviously, when I first saw you, I was like, oh, Escobar, like.
Yeah.
And with a tash as well.
So that's why it needs to be said, though.
It does, right? Do you know the way people are like, oh, when The Walking Dead ends, it's just going to be Rick wakes up from a coma? Imagine that's your life.
That is, see that stuff, like, that's literally like, you do an
Happy
English.
Saturday, guys.
yeah, guy dies in Albufeira and it's all a dream.
Literally.
You wake up and you're, the Matrix where he opens the pod, he's like all bald and all, and you're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
That was a wasted reference. Doesn't matter.
My mum was here. My mum was going to call me Keanu.
I thought you were going to say Neo.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Neo Byrne! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the
God.
stage. Neo Byrne! It was that or Gabriel. Gay Byrne, I would have been called.
Oh, gay Byrne.
Oh, here, you want to host the Late Late?
I know.
Gay Byrne.
Highly incriminated yourself as well.
Yeah.
But I got Adam.
Yeah, Adam's better than Gay Byrne. Probably.
Byrne.
Well, I don't know.
Adam is a Gay Byrne.
Yeah. What was I talking about there? Oh, yeah. Like, what if it's all it's all simulation?
So, and it's weird, like what you're saying about smoking grass and all. Like, it's fun for like a month when you're smoking grass to think of those fun things, and then you're like, my head's wrecked. I'm paranoid here. I'm thinking about this kind of stuff.
But it's the stage now where I'm like, I don't smoke every day, like, so I'm like, oh, this is something I can pick up and just set down, like.
That's what I'm saying. I used to.
Guitar.
Class B substances, you know.
You never lose it.
Here, anyway, here's Wonderwall.
You never lose it.
But like, I used to
Play a few wee things.
a segment ever.
Here, the hash my father has smoked.
I saw that coming in your brain. You're like,
But it's like, when someone says, I can play a bit of guitar, and then they just do Through the Fire and the Flames, like on the expert difficulty. Like.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I used to, like, smoke years ago. I fell, broke my collarbone, and was like, this is damaging me. But no, I used to, and then I kind of was like, right, I need to stop. So But I stopped because I kind of had to, because I was like, my head's minced here, where I took the piss with it. So that's why I'm like, I wish I was able to just not be an idiot and do it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, have some restraint, you know what I mean? Whereas now I'm like, I can't at all, you know what I mean?
But it's one of those ones, like, guys on the scene will smoke a joint before going up, and I'm like, that is insane to me. Like, but then they'll be like, I don't know why this isn't working. I'm like, bro, you're
on drugs.
You're literally on drugs. You're literally in a Looney Tunes episode right now.
You're not even on uppers. You're on a downer. Like, you know what I mean? You're like,
that's so funny.
Your head's cooked. Like,
that's so funny. I don't know why my punchlines are on. You're literally on drugs on stage. Like, no wonder.
Do you remember them? I don't know if because you went to a grammar school. Like you went to a good school.
Educated.
See, the guys at my school used to suck water buckets and come into double ma's, and they're like, and I'm like, bro, you're 14 and you're just off your.
You will regret that, like, if it goes wrong for you. Where do you go?
St Patrick's in Lisburn.
Oh,
nobody knows where that is. It was the worst school ever, man. I hated it. I got bullied.
Gay Byrne.
No, it used to be like, ginger. You've never kissed a girl, you frigid. I'm like, I know it's true.
But so where do you think? Where does the future lie then?
The future lies. Do you know what, Dan?
Cryptocurrency.
Crypto. Here, have you heard of these meme coins? We're making the PAV coins.
You love the PAV. Here, unironically, I said in Luke last week, I'd love to do, like, see the PAV. I think that'd be a great solo show spot if you got more chairs. If you could sell it out.
But that
if you could really fill the room.
Do you know what that is? That's like your husband beating you for 20 years, and it's like, I'm gonna
tread carefully.
Yeah, we're gonna like come together and do our vows again because it's gonna be different this time.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah,
there's too much PTSD in that room.
Yeah.
Why can't I ever just do normal like metaphors? It's always so
It's like if you're beating your husband or your husband was beating you.
Yeah, the analogies always start off so harsh, but ends up with a lovely sentiment.
Yes.
Because it makes sense what you're saying.
Where you're going is sound. Your thought process. You're working out.
Yeah,
show you're working out.
I actually said something to the child. He's 28 and I'm 24. I love saying that. But I was like,
he's 28.
Yeah.
Well,
gee, that was man, isn't it?
Thank you.
Looks through, huh?
You look good for 40.
But I was like, here, would you be interested maybe in the summertime potentially doing like a double header? You know, just half an hour each of just because it's just one of those ones. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have the last since my wee little boom, I've been like,
what's this guy talking about?
I've been like the uni bomber, like level of paranoia. I'm like, the bubble's gonna burst. Like,
I've told you.
Yeah,
it's on
it is on its way out. Like,
what goes up must come down.
Absolutely,
you know.
And it's like,
doesn't mean it won't go up again. But,
but here, that's what I'm saying. What goes up must go down.
Yeah, literally.
Just
must go up again.
Just don't go up. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. If someone says like, "Oh, you're only gonna be gigging once every 2 months," I'd lose the plot. Like, I'd lose moves. Like,
you know what it is? So it's kind of one of them things, though, that it like it's like anything. Like, there is ebbs and flows, and even like the likes of like there's some clubs that are struggling to sell, but it's contextual. Like, it's close to Christmas, people haven't got paid yet. So there's a lot of different things. I know what it is. See, especially I say this all the time because I live and work in Uri and I'm not up here. Yeah. So anytime I'm up here, it's strictly for gigs or whatever. But I don't know what's going on. I just ask people for gigs. If they give me a gig, I just go do it.
You'll go do it.
So I don't really see maybe what like a lot of other people see in terms of like where's not selling well and whatever. I just vibe out, like, you know.
Well, speaking of which, buy tickets for Dolecast Live. It needs to sell.
It will sell.
It will sell.
It will sell.
It will. You've got some good guests and stuff as well. So.
Sleepless nights. Sleepless nights.
But
and it's been on sale less than a week.
Would you not? I think you could run a gig. I couldn't. You could.
I think you could, yeah.
You have that because you also have that platform as well.
I was literally going to suggest this to you guys. Yeah. Doing like renting out a big, not a bigger venue, but like a decent enough venue and being like, let's just put on a one-off night. Like obviously those guys are doing it in the SSE. Yeah, I mean something similar. Where like we all do 10 minutes.
We just do Mandela Hall or something.
Yeah. We just do like Ulster.
Ulster Hall. But I know what you're saying though. That's kind of where he was going with the double header thing. Where I don't like. A lot of people get very in their heads about I need to do a solo show, I need to do this, I need to do that. No. I understand that. Yeah. But for me, I'm just having fun. Yeah. But whenever Adam was like, we'll do a double header, I'm like, that just. You know, it's testing if I can go up and do 30 minutes in one go. So I'm like, I'll do it. You know, but it's not a big deal. It's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh.
I like the idea. Like, obviously, John's on. You know, because followers. No, I'm joking. But yes, like I like the idea of like just getting like 7 or 8 comedians together. Like I remember I was doing a bit of market research, and like those guys that are big wigs now, I did the Ulster Hall close to 10 years ago. Yeah. And they called it the Comedy Squad or whatever, and like just. They obviously at that stage couldn't have done it solo, but we're like, well, why don't we all just chip in and do 10 minutes each or whatever, and then we could sell it.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be a class idea to do now,
But
not now, but at some stage.
But on a smaller scale or whatever scale.
Yes.
But I just mean like right now, even just like let's just do a sunflower art. You know what I mean?
And just put it on.
But me and Soupy were speaking about this. See the amount of phone calls. Like I'm Obama, he's Joe Biden pre-dementia. Like he's my VP,
and he's working.
And genuinely, like we will sit on the phone for like a couple of hours. We're like two schoolgirls in love. I am. He hasn't admitted it yet. But we were saying, we were like, right, okay. Obviously, people have this whole idea where they're like, whenever I'm big, I want to be best mates with like Shane and all this here, and you're like. It's not I don't mean this in a bad way to them, but you're not infiltrating. Like you're not becoming one of that group.
I know it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna
that
happen.
Group is,
it doesn't mean that they don't like you. It's like let's
so
be realistic
like,
here. You need to make your own path. That's
exactly.
what I
It's
think.
kind of if you have that as your end goal, you're destined for failure.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad way, but you know what I mean. It's like
you can aspire to have what the level they're at, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like they're paving the way, and
that's a good way. That's a good place to inspire to be. I also think a huge part of that is like. I'm trying to think of how to say this. They've all done very well in terms of like they all have their own podcast. They're all doing their own thing. So if you like them on that podcast, well, you can watch another one, and it's the same thing. And
they
back
stand
and forth
alone
and
on
back and forth.
themselves as well.
Exactly.
Regardless,
Yeah.
so, you know
So
what I mean?
like, if you saw one on this podcast, you could be like, "That was great. I'll now watch this person's podcast."
Yeah.
It's the same people, but like on the sort of lower levels, there isn't loads of that kicking about. It's just like. If you see this, gigs, there's gigs.
And
but like,
and the thing is, because there's so many people doing it now, which is obviously great.
Yeah.
It's great for punters as well because
off the spots.
yeah, well, I was going to say, but it's great for punters. It's great for the scene because it means that there's so much variety and people. You don't have to just watch XYZ if you do like sort of alternative comedy. There's people there for that. But we were saying about just like. I don't know what the crack is. Like people, there's anomalies in every walk of life. Like, but when people are like, "Oh, I just want to do the SSE or whatever," and like you're like me, or like in your, like, if I was going, I really want to do the SSE. That's great to aspire to do that. But if you measure your success solely based off of that, I'm sorry,
not get anywhere.
Yeah. And whereas if you just have fun and just do it and just let it come naturally and whatever, because that's the best way to do it.
You can obviously want to do bigger shows, and like of course, and like if you're. And there's definitely a sense of you won't do well if then you're just content doing smaller stuff because you need to essentially at some stage take a jump.
Yeah.
But there's also
if you measure your happiness based off of your success and or merit in something that a lot of it's out of your control. Yeah. Let's put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's what it is. I think too many people should be basically said they want to be best mates with the big dogs, and you're like they're lovely guys, but.
You can know them, but like they in the nice possible way, they don't need you. And
yeah.
Like, perfect example. Call back to the very start of this. Your man, shout out Kevin, coming up and having a chat and all whatever.
Yeah.
You do not want to be like, as much as I appreciated that was like coming up and having a laugh and all. We're away on, bro. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the similar thing where I'm like, you bump into name a name and you're like, oh well, blah blah blah. But I'm very conscious. I'm like, I have nothing to offer you. I have nothing to offer this. And me,
know when the conversation's done and walk off.
And it's just kind of being like, I know that because if I bumped into any of yous and the conversation was done, I would leave. So why would I stay only because? No, but you know what I mean. Anyone. So it's like, why? What's different? And you realize,
and they will pick up on it as well if you're like
100%, if you're
hanging about like a bad smell.
Yeah, and you're just like, why? So, but I think that's literally. It's very easy to be like, oh my god, there's blah 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 XYZ, and you go up and chat, and they're like, oh, just sound, and you're like, oh cool, and then you go, we're done here now, that's fine.
Yeah,
you can go up and leave an impression and then leave. Like you don't have to.
But I think
you don't have to do a podcast then and there. Like,
yeah. But I think that's with anyone, no matter of their success or status or stature or whatever. I think it's more just in general.
Same in any field. Yeah.
Anything. Yeah. But there's some people that are like, I feel one because I live in Uri and I'm so separated from everything else, and then.
How far did it take you to get up here?
Like 45 minutes to an hour, depends on traffic.
Yeah.
But and then it's also just like, what was I saying? Sorry, I'm just having fun. That's it. I'm sure, but in order to do this, you need to want to, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like the way I've only started 7-8 months.
Yeah.
But like the reason I'm doing it is like, well, I would love that to be a job one day. Or some sort of income where like you're doing other stuff on the side, but it's
you can monetize it in some way, shape, or form.
Yes. So like, obviously you're having fun, but you also need to think rationally of like, okay, well, how do I take this further so that I'm getting closer to achieving what I want to achieve?
If you're thinking about, you as a person, never mind like interest in terms of like time is money, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can I best spend my time to benefit my life in the future? But I think, like, if you had a paid gig,
Yeah, well, a couple. Yeah,
cool. No,
it's cool.
cool that someone's
cool.
like, here, I'll give you money to do that thing.
I've been booked for a gig in January at a I might have to be at a rugby club, right? And they've asked me to MC and do bring my gear.
Right, we're plenty here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't you- we're short, lads.
Oh, I done one of them last week.
I've heard.
To you,
Oh.
Tell me about it after. But I think it's Oh mate, I love that. Being like, here, tell me after. You guys don't know, but I'll know.
And I hate when I listen to the podcast. Like, we'll say it all first.
Someone texts me. Someone that listens to this text me was like, I'm always wondering what you're thinking when something's bleeped or when I go, oh, tell me about it after. Like, you want to know?
Well, here's subscribe to the Patreon and you'll find out.
Yeah. Well, I don't have one. No one pays for it. No one pays for it. Listen,
I'll give you a good.
Dolecast struggles enough.
It's aptly named though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I think, and
Views on the Dole. Go ahead.
see with stand up, like, and I say this all the time, and I've actually only started to say it, like, because I started seeing this girl, and like, oh, look at this guy, and I was running through the six with my woes. But I was obviously, because it's one of those things. See, whenever I meet a girl and I talk about stand up, I'm always like, it's always like
It's a craft.
no, not even that. There,
I'm honing my blade.
I'm actually heading down to Madden's to sharpen my tools.
My words are weapons.
But like girls will be like,
And you're a blade.
so like, yeah, where do you think this is going? Or like, is this just a silly wee hobby? And she came to the fundraiser, and like I downplayed it.
thought,
I downplayed it obviously, and I was
What's
like,
he like?
I was like, it's mad. Like my hobby's starting to go somewhere, and she was like, you need to stop calling it a hobby. Like, and I'm not just saying this. You're obviously talented. You're getting booked for all these things. So you need to start owning it and appreciating it. Because I don't. It's not that I don't appreciate the opportunities. Like, you were all coming up to me. People were crying in my solo show. They were like, that was the best thing ever.
Speak
Like,
for yourself, man.
yeah,
I was crying. I was only thought was But no, the ones that
Wasted my
genuinely.
night.
yeah. Thank it's over. We can
I
leave.
wasted my whole day.
Yeah, and then you were like, that was unbelievable. I was like, right, well, we got pints.
Yeah.
It's just a lie, like.
Down the stairs and you're waiting 45 minutes for Adam to get round everybody.
Yeah.
But that's imposter syndrome to an extent.
Yeah.
But there's also a healthy amount of that you need to have. 'cause
Yes.
It's very easy.
Yes.
To,
Oh, don't we know?
Yes.
It's very easy to have a really good gig though, and be like, I'm unbelievable, and then there's a humbling around the corner.
There's a humbling.
always-
There's a humbling needs to come.
But
For me as well, like, but
yeah,
for
but that's what I'm
everybody.
saying. It's one of them things. Like,
And I've been humbled recently with gigs. Let me tell you, like
happens.
it happens. And
it comes at the worst time too. Like I done Newrytown Hall, like hometown gig, 450 people, amazing. Like had a great set,
Class.
and then the week after, at absolute.
Browntown, yeah. Guys, we're gonna have to leave it because it's been an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm working at 4.
Nobody showed up for this room.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Unbelievable. Yeah, let's go.
They know better. But I'm sure we'll chat after. Guys, please buy tickets for Dolecast Live. I'm begging you. I really am. It was a great lineup. But yeah, thanks very much for coming on. Anything to plug? Your podcast.
No, I have nothing to plug.
No, I don't upload. Just follow me on Instagram at Soupy Stephen. Follow you on Instagram.
Adam Byrne comedy.
There we go.
This guy comedy at the end of his show.
Keep an eye on the socials where I post.
Here, big things are coming, folks. They're not.
Yeah, and thanks for producing. And thanks for people knowing better than to turn up.
Also, the person that had the crash in the West Link, I hope you're okay.
Just know how annoyed I am. That's happened to you and that you delayed this podcast. But yeah, thanks very much, boys, for coming on. And,
Yes, thank you for having us.
See you later.